All right, doing a quick Q&A today. I won't be able to keep this up, especially as I dial in focus for the Folks Inspector, my private coaching and mentorship program, but I've been giving some more thought to this kind of stuff, how I can best interact with you guys. But for now, this will do. So we're going to talk 16K clients today, scaling a SaaS business, failing cold email campaigns that you guys have reached out to me with, so on and so forth. Of course, everybody is kept anonymous. Any sensitive and personal information always kept anonymous. You guys know I wouldn't do this any other way. But the purpose of this Q&A is to, number one, give you an opportunity to learn, as I know a lot of you have the same questions. I know this because a lot of you reach out to me via email with the same questions. Number two, it's to give you an opportunity to see the kinds of things and opportunities that I get pitched as a business owner. And then number three is to continue the documentation of my business. So if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Pablo. I'm an online entrepreneur. I'm currently scaling Vin to scale my AM marketing agency to 7 figures in real time with daily documentation on this channel. We currently generate over $250,000 a month in deal flow for ourselves and our clients. I work with businesses doing over $1 million a year in revenue, helping them scale with AI cold email and helping them design and convert premium offers. Why does this keep scrolling up? Anyway, so you can get this documentation for free. The link is in the description. It'll add you to my newsletter. I won't spam you. I'll just send you some free tips and notes throughout the week with some stuff that'll make you richer. So let's begin. So it's just some updates for my agency. So I don't like leading with this stuff because I don't like jinxing it, to be honest. I like talking about it after the fact. I'm just kind of old school like that. But anyway, regardless, it's Q4. I anticipate we'll be crossing 100K a month in revenue, in gross revenue sometime mid Q4. I will let you know. Maybe we'll throw a little party. Who knows? I offboarded my last 16K client last night as we make adjustments to scale down in terms of number of clients we're working with, and prepare to launch the educational entity. Let me know, guys, if it would help. I might do this more for the Folks Inspector, but let me know if it would help to post like a live offboarding client call. So what that kind of looks like, how you offboard a client, what to say, the scripts, so on and so forth, like how to actually do that, the email scripts. Let me know if that would help. I might do like a junior version for here on YouTube and then like a lot more in depth for the Folks Inspector. Collected my final installment on that client last night. And we had for a while now instated a pay in full policy. However, we did make an exception for a payment plan in this case, as this particular client was referred over to me by someone I know personally. This client is based in Australia. So again, you're very rarely going to see me post this kind of stuff, but this was just nice to wake up to. So that was the last of the installments there. So I am right now, if you want to know what I'm up to really, is I'm calling and collecting on all the client testimonials that are overdue as we gear up to launch Spectre. So, and also I'm working on Spectre as well, because there's nothing more important than the product and getting my folks, helping my folks get results. So I had some awesome testimonials come through this week. Some of you guys in the audience gave me some testimonials, video interviews and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys. Some clients, just some audience members. So, but point is, you can never have enough case studies. That's why I'm doing this, especially when marketing to cold traffic. With you guys, I can kind of get away with a lot of stuff because you're technically warm traffic, and you guys have seen me before. But to really scale anything, and we'll talk about this in later on in this Q&A, you have to be able to market to cold traffic. There's no other way. There's no other way to scale a business, scale a product, anything whatsoever. So a big way to do that, we talk about building authority and trust, right? One of the best ways to do that is with case studies. So I'm just literally asking my clients, the best way to get a case study or testimonial is just to ask for it. So that's what I've been doing. I'm not above it. I'm not above doing that. Anyway, so I was getting ready to make this video, and one of you lovely folks in the audience reached out to me saying you needed help with a campaign. So we're going to do this. You reached out to me right on time. Okay. If you're seeing this, by now you probably should have received a response from me via email. Okay. But I'm just sharing it here. Of course, everything kept anonymous. You already know how I roll with that. So the email says, "Hey Pablo, I was watching your YouTube video on how to save a bad campaign and was wondering if you could help with mine too." Sure. take advantage of it, because when Spectre launches, that's I'm all in. I'm all in. I mean, I already am all in with Spectre, but that's where all my time and attention is going to be. So, to give you some context, Pablo, my client is a creative agency and he targets e-commerce, to be more exact, fashion brands. So, okay, so your client is a creative agency. What kind of creative agency? Do they do like Instagram posts and stuff like that, and like graphic design, all of the above? Do they run ads? Right? Tell me a bit more about that if you can. A bit more about the client. You can send me the website. I will keep it anonymous. Yeah, I won't show any of that stuff. But that might help, or at least give me more info about what kind of creative agency they are. Okay, and they target e-commerce. So they target fashion brands. I managed to set up some campaigns for him for the last 2 months, but I didn't manage to land him a single client or meeting. Okay, no problem. I get responses from the campaign, and I know the emails land since I get out of office replies. You get a lot of them. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. So we've ruled out the. It sounds like we've ruled out the deliverability issue. So this is good. We can center in on targeting, offer, copywriting. So targeting, offer, and how we're positioning the offer and communicating the offer. I think it must be an offer problem. My client does have good case studies, but even so, I don't manage to get people interested in it. Can I send you the copy? Can I send you how the copy looks like? Yeah, okay. So you think it must be an offer problem? I don't know yet. So you guys will realize this if you haven't already. I go into things with a very open mind, very curious. Okay, so it's down to one of these three things: offer, since they have good case studies, right? We have to rule out if it's an offer problem. We have to rule out if it's a targeting problem. We have to rule out if it's a copy slash messaging, or copy, in other words, messaging slash positioning problem. Okay. So until then, I will make no assumptions. So what would help me, my friend, is if you can send over a screenshot of your campaign stats. So when I say that, I mean, make sure it includes the reply rate, positive reply rate, bounce rate for all active campaigns. Okay. I don't care about your old campaigns, just the active campaigns and or your best performing campaigns. Screenshot of all the campaign copy. So all the versions you're using. If you're A/B testing, just give me all the different A/B test versions. So screenshot of the campaign copy and the sequences. So email 1, email 2 for all your active campaigns, the ones you're running right now. Okay. 1 to 3 examples of the replies that you're receiving. Right. So if it's like not interested, whatever, just give me like one or two or three examples, just so I know what the negative responses are, or the positive responses, so positive and negative. And then just tell me what your client's offer is, like price, time frame, right? So we help X company get Y result in Z time for price. All right. Let me know the offer. Are they pitching like a retainer? Right? Is it a one-time fee? So help me out with that. And then also, if you could kindly let me know the following. So a bit more about the client. Like I said before, send me their website again. I won't. I'm not going to share the website on here. I know better than that. Okay. Tell me where you got your inboxes. I know we don't have deliverability issues, but just give me the full picture. I just like to see the full scope. I'd rather have all the information than have to keep going back and forth and ask you for stuff. Okay. That's the only reason why I'm asking. So it's Google inboxes, Microsoft. Who are you targeting exactly? This is very important for me to know. This is crucial. Who are you targeting? What fashion brands, but like what's the company size? Where are they located? Industry, I guess it's fashion. Job titles. Are you targeting the execs, CEOs, so on and so forth, right? Because right now we need to craft a battle plan, a holistic, cohesive battle plan to really penetrate this industry. And then also, this is very important. How many emails are you sending? How many emails are you sending per day and per inbox? Ideally, you send me the number of emails you've been sending for the last, let's just say 2 weeks. Okay. That would help a lot. Ideally for the last 2 weeks. Okay, if you can get me that information, my friend, I'm confident that we can get somewhere with this. Also, have, whoops, here. Has the client ever had success with cold email before? That's very important for me to know. All right, so I'll copy paste this. I'll just send you this document personally, and you can send me the responses in an email thread, okay? We'll go from there. Perhaps I'll do a follow-up response on here. We'll see. That's probably likely what I'll do, okay? But again, I'll keep all the sensitive information anonymous, just like I did with the last person, okay? You have nothing to worry about. I promise you. All right, and then we had someone reach out to me with an opportunity to give me a stake in a SaaS company that they're building. Of course, I kept everything anonymous. The offer, the idea, the numerical percentages, anything like that. Okay, just I've been approached with opportunities like this before, and just so you all know, I'm not taking on any new projects right now. At least not for the rest of the year. But here's what you do, okay? Because this person asked me for my advice on how to scale this. I'll tell you how to scale it for free. All right, it's not about the money for me. It's just about the fact that I have to focus on Spectre, okay? Although I do appreciate the opportunity, like I mentioned to you via email. So full disclosure, I've never scaled a SaaS of my own. I've never scaled anybody's. That's a lie. I've worked with SaaS companies before, but anyway, I've never scaled a SaaS business to like critical mass, like monumental levels. I know some folks who have done very well. I'm talking like 6 figures a month with SaaS, but I'm confident in my ability to do so, as the principles are the same in any high level professional level marketing. And this is what I do. But anyway, if you want a great example of someone who's really scaled a SaaS to like monumental levels, go check out Alex Becker. He scaled Hyros, which is an AI ad tracking software, and he sold it for, I believe it was $110 million. And he's still running it, I'm pretty sure. So that's who you want to check out. Him and I are in pretty similar positions before he got really deep. Actually, before he even started Hyros, him and I are in similar positions. He was a marketer before he became a full-on SaaS entrepreneur. Alex Hormozi also scaled a SaaS, so the principles are similar. But anyway, this is what you do, okay? I actually learned this from studying Alex Becker's stuff. So this is what you do. So number one thing is again, I'm not going to expose anything about your idea. In fact, I blocked everything out, okay, as you can see for yourself. All right. So this is what you do. This is what you have to think about, before you even move forward. This is what you have to think about, or else you're going to fail before you start. I promise you. I've seen it time and time again. This is why nobody succeeds with SaaS. Very, 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 very few. Like, the success rate is so low. This is why an agency is the best business to start, by the way, because like the success rate with anything else, with drop shipping, e-com, SaaS, anything is so low. SaaS is not a beginner business, by the way. If you're like, hopefully you've started a business before. If not, hopefully you have like really serious, like real connections, especially to investor and seed money. But anyway, I'll tell you why. So first off, you have to have an advantage. If you want a fighting chance, you have to have your product. So this is all about the product, by the way. There's nothing more important than the product. Nothing. There's nothing more important than the product. If the product is good, it'll market itself. Like it becomes, when you can make it a no-brainer product, when there's nothing else like it on the market, it'll market itself. You won't even need someone like me. Look at Slack. Look at Hyros. Anyway, you have to have an advantage. So you got to think about, is this a problem that is not already being solved? Like, seriously, is this a serious problem that's not being solved, a serious problem that is not being solved anywhere else. Is this a serious problem that's not being solved, period? So if other alternatives exist, then this doesn't count. So ClickFunnels solved there's a reason why funnel builders never really succeeded once ClickFunnels took off, because once ClickFunnels took off, that problem was solved. Building sales funnels easy. ClickFunnels solved that problem for the everyday person. The everyday person can now build a really well-functioning sales funnel because of ClickFunnels. And you ideally want to have one of these, and the more advantages you can get, the better, because your competition's coming. And based on what you said, and we'll talk about this later, but your competition's already there. Number two, can you market this on a traffic source that's not currently being utilized? So Ty Lopez, and this is quite sensitive because he just got sued by the SEC. It's not, I'm being dramatic. It's not that sensitive. But so Ty Lopez did the "here in my garage is my Lamborghini" thing. So he took influencer marketing and he brought it to YouTube before anybody else did. Right. So he could sell his course thingy on a traffic source like YouTube ads. That wasn't really being utilized. Anyway, so I'll let you think about this on your own. Number three, a business structure that is superior. So a lot of guys sell courses and stuff, but like the reason why Sam Ovens and consulting.com took off is because his business structure, so the way his funnel was set up, his webinars and stuff was so highly optimized that it just gave him an advantage over everybody else that tried to sell consulting courses after him. Because he had like the years of optimization and testimonials and stuff, and nobody could really, take him out. Number four, is there a new market for this product, right? So Henry Ford. So cars used to be only available to like the rich folk. Henry Ford made cars available to the masses, so it was a new market. Number five, this is all the things I'm thinking about when designing a product. Okay. Number five, even with Spectre. Number five, is this a new solution to a problem, right? So collagen. I forgot what collagen solves, but collagen was a new solution to a problem. And then a new strategy to acquire market, right? So do you have a new strategy to acquire the market? Kind of like ClickFunnels did, and I'll tell you how they did it in a second. But really, they sold training, and then on the back end, they sold their SaaS. On the front end, they sold training. On the back end, they sold their SaaS. Oh my God, another. So this is what it feels like, huh? To get cold emails all the time. Why is my phone even in my office? No. And ideally, this has to be in a very hot, scalable market. You're not in a very hot, scalable market. I'll say that. You're in an okay market, but then you're going to need as many of these as possible. A very hot, scalable market right now is like AI. A year or two ago, it was like Amazon FBA, so on and so forth. It also cannot be influencer-led. That's not real marketing, okay? You can't pay someone like Jake Paul or something to market this for you, because Jake Paul will go, he will become unpopular one day. So you want to stack as many of these advantages as possible. I would spend like weeks, if not months, thinking about this stuff and getting clear on it. I wouldn't rush to launch, because you're going to get wiped out. You're not going to have a fighting chance. To scale it to like real levels. And I'm not talking like $1 million a year. I'm talking like, whatever. This is up to you. I mean, you and I have different standards, right? But anyway, if I'm building a SaaS, like I'm going all in. Like a SaaS is no joke. I'm going for 100 million. That's just being real. I wouldn't waste my time. 50, 100 million. I wouldn't waste my time building a SaaS if it was to exit at $10 million. I can do that with anything else. I can do that with like being a public speaker. So anyway, so point is, so you have to build a real moat, right? That's what I mean when I say you have to have an advantage. You have to build a real moat. So your biggest competitor that you cited in this email to me is worth over $1.5 billion. Meaning they can buy each of these advantages over you pretty much, right? So you got to really pick and dial in and think about this. And I'm sharing this with you because someone else is probably going to pitch me an opportunity like this. I wouldn't be surprised if I've already received it, like I mentioned before. So your biggest competitor is worth over $1.5 billion and raised $100 million in a Series D. That's a lot. So you have to think, what's stopping them from just spending a fraction of that, $500K, and just wiping you out, right? Going to San Francisco and hiring, or Silicon Valley, and grabbing a dev out of there and just making the thing. They already have a laundry list of devs in their company, right? So you got to think about these things. And I say this because from what I saw in the email, you didn't meet these things, okay? So that's what you need to even have a fighting chance at existing. Now, to scale, that's a different question. That's where I would come in. And you absolutely need a high-ticket front end. That's the answer. You need a high-ticket front end to scale a SaaS. So getting around it. So the product needs to be built to work with ads, not the other way around. The ads can't be built to make the product work. You don't make the product and then think about how to run ads. You think about how to make the ads work when you're building a product. While you're building the product, you have to design the product to work with ads, to work with cold traffic. So I say that because you're gonna have, if you want to scale this thing, I'm telling you, someone who scales businesses for a living, doing north of $1 million to start. You're gonna have to run ads. You're gonna have to be able to sell this to cold traffic. You're gonna have to. So So what I mean by this is you need to have a high ticket front end. The SaaS itself doesn't have to be high ticket, but you need to have a high ticket front end where people come into your funnel. This has to be a whole funnel. So whether that's a high ticket course or a program or so on and so forth, and you sell the SaaS as a subscription to those who are in the funnel. Think of Russell Brunson and how he did it with ClickFunnels. So he didn't just sell the ClickFunnels software for $97. That came after the fact. What he did was he sold sales funnel training. You know, the perfect webinar script and all that you see all these little 16-year-old kids doing webinars nowadays to get people in their school community. He sold the original webinar training, the original sales funnel training. Then he sold a bunch of different trainings like that. And then he used that profit to run more ads, right? Just kept compounding to blow up the sales funnels training. And a bunch of folks who bought that sales funnel training, a large percentage of those who bought that program, the sales funnel training, also bought ClickFunnels because they're like, oh, well, I'm in the training on how to build sales funnels. Why don't I just buy what is supposedly the best sales funnel software? See how that goes? So there's already a lot of people, a lot of leads in the funnel. So that's the only way, at least if you're going to bootstrap it, that's the only way is to build a high ticket front end so that you can run ads and get more and more attention to this thing. You don't have to price, again, the SaaS itself as high ticket, but in terms of how you get people into the funnel, it has to be high ticket. The only way you're going to get, let's just say do a 6-figure launch this month or October is if you already have a bunch of leads, a really warm audience. Or if you have this is the only way. Listen, unless you get investor money, that's the only way. It won't work any other way unless, believe me, people have tried. Unless you have money to burn. You got a couple million just sitting in the bank. Or you have money coming in from another cash flow, like another cash flow business. For example, so Alex Becker had other businesses, right? He had info businesses that were generating him cash flow. And then he funneled that cash into Hyros. He was pretty much buying himself time. He funneled that cash into Hyros to pay for developers, for product testing, so on and so forth, until Hyros became profitable. Look at Daniel. Look at Daniel Fazio and the guys at ListKit, Andre and those guys. So they have a high ticket front end with either a course or a program, like a 10K program, something like that. And then a bunch of those guys who join, they go and buy ListKit, which is like their lead software. So it's the same thing every time. Alex Hormozy with his software that he made for agencies to manage their leads that he ended up selling. He exited out of that software, that SaaS. So what he did was he got folks in with his gym launch program, which the entry program was, I think it was priced at $16K, the entry program. And then a bunch of those folks who got into the entry program, a bunch of the gym owners who bought that coaching program, they would also buy the software. So this is why I don't know if it was the gym owners, but point is a bunch of the people in this funnel. So this is also why so many people go broke just trying to make a SaaS work, and why it's not a beginner level business. It's because they don't understand the economics and the funnel behind it. This is also why marketers have the highest success rate of getting rich on the internet and not SaaS folks. It's because we can scale any business. Again, it can't be influencer led, right? So influencer marketing won't work here. So I hope that answers your question. This is just stuff to think about, okay? But I do appreciate the opportunity. So that's all. My offers and updates done for you services limited to B2B firms doing over $1 million a year ARR or 80K a month MRR on an invite only basis. Website for more information. Engagement fee begins at 50,000 USD. Spectre mentorship / accelerator program to be announced in the coming days. Spots will be limited by application only, first come, first serve. It will be the best program on the market for anyone looking to become a $1 million a year earner and or scale their agency to $1 million a year, as I've done for clients. It will be a copy paste of the systems I've used to scale their businesses and mine, led by a copy paste of my AI cold email system. It will be a private group of results driven A players who are looking to scale quickly with a proven cold email system, branding system, and dominate. Spots will be limited as I will be working with you personally, only for the most invested and committed. More to be announced in the coming days. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.